Before we get into the claims, here's the central problem with the government's messaging. The National Party says the recovery has arrived, but when you examine the Prime Minister's State of the Nation speech, the evidence offered is almost entirely abstract. What's missing is proof that households are better off right now. National frames the recovery as complete or effectively complete.
But I have to tell you, I feel more confident than ever that the recovery has now arrived and Kiwis can look forward to a year which is brighter than the past few.
This is the foundation of the narrative, that the recovery is not framed as emerging, but as having arrived. That framing sets expectations for lived improvement now, not later. The government substitutes confidence and indicators for real-world evidence.
It showed that business confidence is at its highest level since 2014. Growth in manufacturing is stronger than at any time since December 2021. Conditions now seem to be improving nationwide.
These are leading indicators, and they describe a sentiment and activity, not household outcomes. There is no mention of disposable income, rent, food costs, or day-to-day financial pressures. Leading indicators do not equal a lived improvement. National then claims relief, but does not show exactly who is better off.
And in just the last 2 years, our Minister of Finance, Nicola Willis, has delivered savings of around $11 billion per annum. That is the equivalent to around $5,000 for every single household in the country.
There is no breakdown of distribution, and there's no adjustment for inflation. Also, no explanation of whether households are actually ahead once higher costs and reduced services are accounted for.
Now we need to see people feel it in their personal lives, and more of them across the whole of the country as we go through the beginning part of the year, and I think that is coming.
The Prime Minister admits that people have not yet felt the recovery, and he undercuts his own certainty. This is where credibility has been fractured the most. If people still need to feel it, then the recovery has not meaningfully arrived for them. This directly contradicts the certainty of earlier claims. The future is promised as replacing the present evidence. National leans on a long-term projection to validate their proclaimed success, but it is a promise decades away.
So for a 21-year-old earning $65,000 a year and making default contributions in line with the changes already delivered at this year's budget, they could expect to retire with around $1 million in their KiwiSaver account by the time they turn 65. That same individual could expect that their KiwiSaver balance would be around $400,000 larger, or around $1.4 million in total.
It does nothing to address whether households can afford groceries, rent, or have a savings today. Those future outcomes are being used to justify present messaging. There's a form of slogan crystallization without proof that the basics are fixed.
And that's why Fix the Basics, Build the Future is really the mantra that we want to execute on here at home.
When it's described as fixing the basics, it means households are supposed to be more secure. But the speech the Prime Minister makes never proves that this happened. The National Party points to leading indicators as proof of a so-called recovery, but within the Prime Minister's own speech, there is no evidence that the real disposable incomes have meaningfully improved. Until that changes, the so-called recovery remains a manufactured political narrative to change public perspectives about the dwindling governance for everyday New Zealanders.